Hey everybody, I'm going to make a video today about specifically the Align panel and the Pathfinder panel. So I'm going to make a new document, and I always love to remind people how making a new document works. So if I choose letter, I can change it to landscape, portrait, whatever I like. I think portrait is the default, but I'm going to go with landscape, and somewhere down here below your screen there's a OK button that says OK or close or create. So I choose create, and here is a document now. So over here, now this panel actually usually shows up like this, but I like two rows because it's easier for me to see all the tools. The context works better for me. So I'm going to choose the rectangle tool. And again, just as a reminder, if I make this a color, you'll be able to see the beyond the shape. And I'm going to make the stroke a little bit thicker. So again, if I hold Alt, I could draw from the middle. And if I hold down Shift, I can get an exact perfect shape, regular shape, whether it's a square or a circle. So there's my shape, and of course you can also let's do that, and space lets me move it around. So right now I'm holding down Shift to make it a square, I'm holding down Alt to draw off the middle, and the space bar to move it around. Now you could also draw from the corner, and Shift also works to make it a square or not. So Shift is square, and again the space moves it around. Now, let's say I want a couple of these. I'm going to Alt drag, and if I want to line these up, there's a couple of things I need to know about the Align panel. So, window Align opens up Align. When Align shows up with its two best friends, Transform and Pathfinder. So if I choose Align, it's going to automatically align to whatever I aligned with last. So if I just click these two together, it does this, and that looks like there's one because like they're together. But if I do this, I need to determine what to align them to. So if I say align here, align to, and it's either key object, I'm not really sure how to make one of the key object, selection, or artboard. So if I do artboard, now they're going to align to the middle of the artboard like this. And I could have also done that all with this one here. So you don't necessarily need to have the align panel open, but I find it's easier because I can float it around. It's very visual for me. Now if I only select one object, things change a little bit. So the align panel now is the same. Okay, whatever. Let's see. I think it's if I choose text. Sometimes there's another panel that shows up, or another choice in the control bar. Okay, so the control bar. Let me just widen this up a little bit. Well, where is it? This one? No. Somewhere. Well, if I choose text, I think text might be the one that has it. So if I choose text and I write some words, then I may see a different panel. Here it is. Oops, that's not it either. Here it is. This one and this one here. So if you have text, this allows you to align single objects of text to selection, to artboard. So if I do this, and I have this, so it moves around. So you're looking for this little icon here. So if I say align to selection or align to artboard, it still doesn't move. So if I do align to selection now, I get this. So that allows you to, for example, align text objects with shapes. So if I just have an object selected, you won't see that same icon. So usually you'll see that when you have text selected, and that's this here, and it sometimes takes other forms or other appearances. When I have something selected like this, there's a few ways it might look. So you can see it up here, and that all that does is allow me to choose what it's going to align to. So let me line up these three things to the middle like this. And if I'm like, yeah, but just line to each other, or here's this artboard thing again. So to selection now. So if I move these around, and I can do them this way. So using this is really an important part of the alignment process because it doesn't show up for some reason in the align panel down here. Kind of irritating. Now there's other things in the align panel to use. So for example, if I have some type and I want to align that to the left end of the shape, there's this button here, align horizontal left. Okay, or align horizontal right, or center, or top, or bottom, or that center. So that it moves things around to meet these parameters. Now, what are these other buttons down here? Let's check it out. Let's zoom out, double click the hand, and let's get this working out. So if I take more shapes, and I go, let's just randomly make a bunch of these. Okay. So what I kind of want to do is, you have too many of them. That's probably good enough. Maybe this. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to choose these, and I'm going to find my align selection thing. Here's the align panel. So align to, and let's align to selection is fine. And if I use these distribute objects, it's going to arrange them that way. Now if I also want to distribute them this way, it's actually not what I was after, is it? What I want to try to make do is stairs. So if I move this over here, and I move this one over here, and I go like this. Okay, so let's do that. And if I align left, horizontal distribute left, it's picking the left end of the object. Okay, now if I want these exactly centered this way, that looks good. One thing I could do to make those touch is if I select all of them, I think I can scale this up this way. Yeah, that just made the same space is the same. But if I work with this, there's some mathematical things you can do to space them out using some other panels that we're not up for yet. So that's all the align distribute. Again, allows me to distribute by centers or tops or centers or whatever. And you can do the same thing with text. Any objects can get that. Now let's talk about the Pathfinder. So there's essentially 3 objects we're going to use in Pathfinder, or maybe 4, just to see what they do. I'm not going to mess around with these down here today. They're a little bit different. So let me choose this shape. And one thing that's important to note is you can use this, and there's unite, which joins them. There's minus front, which cuts a hole. There's intersect, so only intersection places. And then there's exclude. So exclude just makes a hole where the intersection is. So these two are opposites of each other. It should be noted, however, that if I put this one in the back, let's go to layers, and if that layer is, or that object within its layer is in the wrong place, so it says right here I've got this one selected, so that must be this one. Let's drag it down, and now it's invisible. So if I try to do that and I try to do minus front, I get this error message: the filter produced no results. Please select 2 intersecting paths. Now they intersect for sure, kind of, but the one that's cutting, the one that's the thing on top is going to, we say minus front. When we say minus front, it says, okay, let's pick the thing on top and cut the thing on the bottom. The 2 paths don't really intersect. So what I want to do is take this one and move it down. You can also do the same thing with object and arrange. And there's some shortcuts I love to use. So now it's going to cut a hole in the middle because this path does intersect. So it looks like when they're this way that they kind of do, but they kind of don't either. So that's really definitive. Anyways, let me move this one down, and now I can cut a hole in it. So why would I use one or the other? It's really just about sort of problem solving visually to create shapes and logos and other designs that you might be working with to work up your design. So I hope that helps, and hope you have fun with Adobe Illustrator making cool and groovy stuff. Peace out.